Yeah, bro. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, I think everything coming along though. Me, y'all go doing this thing. I see our presence. It's kind of it's growing really, and I think
It's
um
growing at like a grassroots level, and that's what really matters.
yeah, yeah, most definitely. So we gonna see how weekend goes. I know a lot of guys coming there. Um, what else? We gonna do a lot of stuff with the Nationals coming up. See what Carolari and Pecco gonna do there. So it's like you
There's a
said,
lot going on.
grassroots is definitely growing on grassroots level. So it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be good. Yeah, man.
See
So what
who's
else going on? Anything new with you? Anything in that 10 scale cars you been trying to test out, or I know
mostly just
what you're leaning with what you're running with on your 10 scale program.
Schumacher stuff. I
Hmm.
have Schumacher LD3D that I'm running on outdoor stuff actually,
Yeah, yeah.
which is uncommon for 10 scale at this point. So we're gonna see how it does at the
Yeah.
barn
But
this coming
yeah, the
weekend.
Schumacher just won the what was it? The INS with what's Brock Chamberlain?
The Brock Chaplin won.
Yeah.
I think he won INS
Hmm.
or an INS race. But
Yeah, he running Schumacher, so
I
yeah,
also
man.
have A main. Oh shit. A mains. I still have A mains full drive buggy that they worked on a while ago that
Okay.
I still have yet to do a follow up video on, but I'm probably going to do one soon.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate y'all guys from Roach's stream coming in. Thank y'all for jumping over here, bro. Like I said, I do this I do this a lot, and like I said, I just haven't done it in about about 4 or 5 months. Had a new job, everything switched and stuff, so I just had to chill out for a minute. But now
Yeah,
everything's coming back along, back in order, so jumping back in.
so am
All
I
10
at
toes
this point.
down now, so
I
we
probably
back at it. So,
I
but
probably
yeah, I
need to start
appreciate y'all
streaming more
jumping in.
often.
Y'all remember EKJ24000 on YouTube? Just subscribe. Like I said, I have like really two streams. I do one called a pit stop hour, just with everybody. I can really talk with my subscribers. I call everybody my RC family, and we can talk. But then I do like a straight really podcast with guests. You know what I'm saying? So it's more interview type style. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, man. But yeah, Roach, appreciate you sharing your folks with me, man. And hey, yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in. Anytime y'all want to come by and see me on, or if Roach is on, I'm definitely gonna jump in with him. And man, we
Mhm.
just talk about life, RC, and we was talking about 10 scale, Brock Champion winning the INS, and we got the Nats coming up this weekend. So we got a lot of stuff happening.
We do have
A
a
lot of
lot of
stuff
stuff going
happening.
on right now.
So yeah, Roach, tell us more about, working with what is it, Live RC? Is
RC
that
Racing TV.
what is it?
So
RC.
RC,
What is it
it's
again, Roach? You tell me.
RC Racing TV.
RC Racing TV. Yeah. That's Matt
So
Damien and them.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so basically, they're like live RC here in America,
Right.
but they do a lot more than
They
live
do a lot
RC
more.
does.
Do most definitely. All the European races,
Every
all the
single one
worlds
is
they be there. All the like even large scale, like RC stuff, but like fifth scale,
fifth scale, hydrogen powered
right?
cars, all
All
that
that.
good stuff. Everything
Hmm.
is there.
Yeah, they cover all that. They've been doing it for a while. Even back when we had the when we had our had Neo races, they was all over the Neo races and stuff like that too. So
Yeah, and RC
yeah.
and RCGP when that was still a thing.
RCGP, yeah, they hit it. They broke all that down. So
Yeah,
yeah, when I raced that, they was there when I raced the RCGP. So yeah, they did interviews and everything. So yeah, they legit, and
I wish
they
we
go
still
all out.
had them,
Yeah.
but we can't have nice things, can we?
Well, you know how it go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, looks
But
like
yeah, Brandon
a little
Watts,
bit.
what's up?
Hey, Brandon. Also, we got a little bit of all RC. What are your
A little
thoughts on
bit
the
of all
rise of
RC
vintage
checking
RC
in.
racing
Yeah.
right now?
Says ooh,
What are your thoughts on the rise of vintage RC racing right now? So, for me, it's like I really enjoy it. I really like seeing people actually, take cars that would normally just sit on a shelf for years and years and years and actually race
Mhm.
them. Same way I like looking at like old rally cars or old classics going on the track at Goodwood Festival of Speed or rally events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm worried about is actually I don't think there is there anything I'm really worried about that's actually meaningful. Um, it's just more cars on the track that you can race. And these cars that were once unobtainium, unless you're a Losi, in which case they don't do re-re's, but Associated, Schumacher, and Yokomo re-releases, they're pretty good, and they are modernized to handle modern power.
Yeah.
So
But
why not
yeah, I
race them?
mean, it's always good, man, to bring them older cars out because,
I think it's more of a
man,
10 scale thing than
people might
anything else,
that's
though.
all they just if they have those older style cars like that, it's ought to be a race that you can bring them back out, also still have parts and stuff for them to keep them going, and, saying that's like you said, that's basically gonna keep more people in the hobby, saying, as well, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
also more so a 10 scale thing than an 8 scale thing, mostly because old 10 scale cars drive very well on loose dirt. Old
Mhm.
8th scale cars, I don't think they drive as well, especially like an old MBX6 or something like that. It's just they don't drive good. At least the e-buggies don't. I don't
Yeah,
think they
man,
should
it
be
was,
putting out all these reissues. I think true vintage cars, if you have one. See, the thing is with that, if you don't do the re-releases and only use vintage cars from that era, there are a couple issues with that. For one, there's the parts supply. It's if you break something on an old car that doesn't have parts anymore,
right.
it's
They be
you're
yeah,
you're you're SOL. So
yeah.
you also have the problem with scalpers who are hoarding like old. You'll see this with low-C cars because they don't do really re-releases. Um, where I saw a double X, for example, for $1,000 on eBay, and someone actually bought it
Mm. Ooh, they selling
for a
too. Yeah.
thousand dollars,
Yeah, man.
and
Mhm.
that's what scalpers do.
Yeah.
But with re-releases, think of it like that Shelby Cobra, where people were selling it for millions of dollars before a lot of people did like the resto mods or like basically cage versions of it.
Mhm.
And Carroll Shelby basically said, "Look, this is fine because I built this car to drive, not sit on someone's garage."
Exactly. So, yeah, like I said, them vintage cars you have, and like you saying, with the new materials, there's the materials now way more stronger than they were then. And just imagine if they did do re-releases with the same materials that we have now for the cars that was built back then, how much stronger they will be. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you still, as far as like nostalgia and just our past, driving these vintage cars that we was brought up driving and still running them, but with better materials and better ESC and electrics, it's gonna be that much funner too. So, so
Yeah,
yeah,
and
a little
those
bit
oh,
RC was
what was I
saying,
gonna
yeah,
say?
guys, are you excited about the vintage race in Vegas that Associated is hosting?
I really want to see what they do with the track with that because I know it's gonna be a loose track. So there's gonna be like, actual rear motor cars that will work very well there. And I also want to see how they stack up against the mid motor cars that
Hmm.
are going to be running there as well.
Yeah.
So seeing how they do is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be a good turnout. Like I said, a lot of people still got them vintage cars and stuff. So,
Yeah.
um,
If we release the stuff, the original cars would lose value. Fuzzreek says, I see what you're saying. It just seems like it's starting to get out of control with all the re-releases being sold now. I know what you mean, but I think it's only really a bad thing if the people who buy those cars don't actually use them and just
mhm.
stick them on a shelf.
Not really, because they are always to tell if it's true vintage.
The materials of the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah. Coming in hot. What's going on? Coming in hot. What's up, brother?
You use
Man,
the wrong consonant.
talking
It's
about
a
some vintage
K.
stuff, vintage 10 scale stuff, and we just chatting it up, bro. We just chopping it up. So anything is welcome. Anything. So but yeah, man, run that venture stuff is always good. It's always good to see.
Mhm.
That
I
take us
actually
back to
have
see
a
how far RC has came and where it's going and how can we improve. And I think a lot of the tracks, lot especially the outdoor, I think it's still a lot of that real motor stuff will still be real good on some of them outdoor tracks. And then and the world's 10 scale rails is when? And it's coming up real soon.
I
And
think
it's
it's
gonna be on an
in
outdoor track.
July. Yeah, it's in
Isn't it, bro?
Australia, where Australia is known. This is a rear motor car,
Yeah.
an old
Mhm.
RB5, I think it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
Kyosho RB5.
Mhm.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Australia is going to be the world's, and that they pretty much exclusively run on outdoor 10 scale tracks.
Right. Mhm. I
I
get
get
when
people
people
are stick
mhm.
the AE car. I get when people stick the AE car on the shelf, though. Yeah, the AE clear car specifically.
Yeah.
What about the Gamma 10 scale that is being tested? I think it's an interesting concept for
Yeah.
making it more of an on-road, make it more of a road car. I think that's kind of the point of it, because 10 scale has gotten so high grip and so smooth that design like that can actually work.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works as well unless you really build for it. Basically, I'm very trepidatious about it, but I will give it a fair shot at whenever I can.
Mhm.
But we'll see how it does. It needs to be in the hands of someone who really knows how to drive, though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, but yeah. And like I said, those vintage cars also good for our driving skills. A lot of those were, handful to keep on the track. So it's just gonna make you better too, as well. On that, looking at it in that aspect.
A little bit RC. Will I pick it up? Probably not in the near future, because I don't know when it's releasing. That's kind of the thing with it right now. It's like
Yeah.
it seems like they got everything done except for releasing the car itself. So we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see how it
Yeah.
does.
For sure, man. But yeah, y'all. Like I say, man, we um. So who you got? Who you liking in the Nats? That's coming up, Roach.
Like I said in the chat, I think I'm gonna go with Fuller, partially
Hmm.
because I went against him last time and I went wrong. So Fuller, I'd say, has the best shot because he has, in my opinion, one of the best cars for the track for this particular track,
Yeah.
and he has the skills to back it up,
Hmm.
and he
True.
has the
True that.
motivation to want to win because, well, he wants to do well at the Worlds, obviously, and he probably wants to do better than he did at DNC.
DNC. Yeah.
Which,
Most
even though he got
definitely.
like second,
Yeah,
he could have won.
he could be in the fight for real. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then, like I said, Brandon Rose, that's basically his home track. So
that's his home track. Yeah,
him and Wiggins, um, they're gonna be tough there too. So it's gonna be a good race. Definitely gonna
we'll
be a
see.
good race.
Yeah, I think another driver that's probably, well, kind of obviously a good contender is probably Mayfield.
Most definitely. He gonna be
And
definitely gonna be in the mix.
he'll be in the main specifically, not qualifier.
So yeah. So I think they're still working some stuff out with that techno buggy. Um
Well, they did pretty well at
yeah,
PNB
they
and
did.
DNC.
They're real good at PNB. Cause Van Dalen did real good PNB. He was real
Yes, he did.
strong there too. So I think they're filling some stuff out. But I think Van Dalen, him and his dad does a lot of stuff on their own, try different things and different parts they make themselves. And so
Hmm.
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
So
So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
I'm also trying to figure out what I want my next video to be on.
I've been Bro, I've been thinking the same thing. I ain't really found nothing that's really interesting, that really caught. Cause when you think about it, you be like, "Yeah, I could do this," and you feel
Well, part of it for me is also being held back by my PC because I can't do pixel animations, for example,
mhm,
because I know how to do it. It's just my PC can't handle it.
I got you.
So, like, actually rendering, like,
Yeah.
for example, like a video game menu from like
Mhm.
8-bit or 16-bit eras, it's not possible on a to actually like build it is not
Yeah.
possible on 8 gigabytes of VRAM. It's not happening.
See, that stuff I don't even own it. Hey.
It's not a whole lot of VRAM. I'm just saying.
It's not.
It's not a whole lot. You need at least like
Shoot, bro,
16
just
at minimum.
use some of that Patreon money, gonna upgrade, a little upgrade, upgrade. You
That
know, no
pays
matter,
that pays for the RC stuff.
okay, RC
What
stuff.
I'm excited for in the vintage racing is those four-wheel drives, because there is an RC10 four-wheel drive which is going to have a ton of rear traction for a four-wheel drive car, and with the history behind it. Interesting thing about that RC10, it's not the one that actually got second at the Worlds, because specifically, the one that they have is a shaft-driven one. Let me see if I can bring it up. The RC10 four-wheel drive that they have, the re-release of it isn't based on anything in particular. It's kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find.
He said,
Yeah, it's not shaft-driven. It's belt-driven. The actual RC10 four-wheel drive was cable-driven, so it will do well, and it'll have a lot of rear traction, but I'm not sure how it will do compared to, say, the actual MIP four-wheel drive conversion that the RC10 actually had back then.
Right.
So the original one had like a system that was cable-driven. Then they had a chain-driven one, but they never had a belt-driven one, which is what they have now. They also never had hexes or anything like that. So it's not really, it's like that RC10 truck that they have. It's not based on anything that was actually vintage. It's just based on a vintage chassis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I think they trying to, well, they
They're trying
have
to get all they
the
can out of the RC10
Nitro
platform.
truck that, Ignite did its conversions and kits and stuff off of. So.
Oh yeah, that whole debacle, that was fun.
So,
but it could just be the driver. It was probably both. It was probably both the driver and the car.
For sure.
Hey Tracy, how you doing? I'm having a good evening. How are you?
Tracy, what's going on, Trace? How little man doing?
Vintage cars bring out a specific nostalgia within RC. Vintage cars were pre-cell phone internet days. There wasn't an A-main hobbies to order from. Lots of trips to the whole local hobby shops. I mean, I still do that. It's just I have the internet to communicate with the hobby shop if they have something or not. William Beck, how are you doing?
What up, stranger?
How you
doing?
What
up, Beck? Hope all is well, bro. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. So Rose, did Loganville run this past weekend, or did it rain on that?
They did, but it rained halfway through the program. I managed to get my main in, but it was only 8 minutes. So yeah. I also tried some different diff fluids, which went incorrectly with how I usually drive. I pretty much went 10, 15, 10 in terms of diffs, front, center, rear.
Right.
I had no steering. There was no steering to be had. It was push city.
It felt good. I ran that
it may have been the tires that I ran, but
it felt pretty good for me.
It didn't work.
What I did do, I did go with really soft springs, because how loose and cold it was, and it just helped calm the car down that much more. Because I did go with the black springs in front and the browns in the rear, and it was good. It was good, but it was just still a little too twitchy for me. So it was hard to hold on to. But the car just had a whole lot of drive. Did you feel like it had a whole lot of?
I had a lot of forward drive. I had plenty of forward drive, but I had like no mid corner rotation. Great to see you're still rocking with Reds. Over here in Bakersfield, there are only 2 hobby shops, and TLR and Team Associated are the 2 main race brands. Trax is the most popular brand here. No surprise about that. My very first buggy was a Losi JRX2 the day it was released. You're going to love the next RC Racing TV video.
That's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The story behind it is very interesting.
Okay.
It's basically one of those situations of the Losies being, well, okay, so I'll say this again in the video that actually is coming out soon, but with, dramatic music in the background or just dramatic jazz in the background
Mm-hmm.
because it sounds like a criminal organization ring.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was Losi Jr. was contracted to help design the original RC10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and their stipulation for doing so was, hey, we get 10% of commission for each RC10 sold, and we
Right.
want 3,000 of them to go through our hobby shop, which was the Ranch Pit Stop, right?
Okay.
So at a certain point during the late 80s, I think it was, they realized they weren't getting the kits they wanted or the kits that they needed. So they invited Gene and Roger over to lunch to sort things out.
Yeah.
And eventually what they basically said was, look, we have to worry about our bottom line too. It's not fair for us to only worry about the Ranch Pit Stop's bottom line when we have all these other hobby shops that need kits too. So we're
Yeah.
not going to honor this previous agreement anymore. And Giulosi Sr. was like, all right, screw it. I'm going to build something that can beat an RC10 and do it myself. So they stopped selling RC10 products. They stopped selling all the hop ups that they made for it. And they made the JRX2 completely by hand. No
Yeah.
computers, no, all by hand, all handcrafted.
Mm-hmm. But
Did you see
yeah,
a track
yeah,
that's
this
competing at
yeah.
the A
So
scale
did you see the
Euros? Yeah, I
guys
did.
that C-Trax is competing at the one
I
A
did.
scale Euros? Yeah, it was a young cat down there at the Euros. The
I
one A
wonder how he
scale
did.
electric e-buggy Euros. And he's running
The
a
Traxxas
Trax
Jado.
Jado
Yep.
e-buggy and was doing pretty good. He was a young guy. I think he was like maybe 7, 8 year
It
old.
couldn't have been more than 10.
But I mean, the Traxxas e-buggy is basically e-buggy, that Jado buggy.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's what's called a backslash.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a slash 4x4 with a buggy body on it that's been stretched.
So
But it works, and it
yeah,
works
they'll
well.
compete. They'll compete. It's just like with the Titans
The
and
Typhon TLR tune, which is basically a Durango, but who cares? I mean, it
so
works,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
who
it works.
cares? It works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cheap compared to like a full race kit if you buy the 6S version. And it even comes with sensor electronics if you want it.
Right. So
But for me, I want more
more
right
options.
there, more
Mm-hmm.
options. That's why I run the Mayako now.
So yeah, man. But like I said, whatever you run to get into it to get going, feel free. It's nothing,
Yeah,
nothing.
you can go to a track whenever you want to. It's
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
with whatever you want to, as long within reason, of course. But like, don't go to a mini Z track with a 5 Baja. But if you have an A skill car and there's an A skill track, go to it. Just have some fun. Who cares?
Yeah, he
If they
said I
make
think Los makes the best RTR when they scale buggies. I know S Works has a good one too. That's ready to run RTR.
the Apollo,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good too. The only person I
Mm-hmm.
saw able to run a Durango was Lutz. I've seen, at least now, I've seen some people do pretty well with the Arma or Durango, basically. But I never saw what people did with it back then outside of Ultimate RC videos. But yeah, Tracy, as long as you're having fun, that's all that
All that
matters.
matters.
That's all that
What's
matters.
up? Mm-hmm.
I remember actually it was earlier yesterday at that exact race that I went to
Yeah.
where someone in the novice class had a tracks novice and 4x4 short course truck class had a what's it called, a 4x4 slash, and he was cleaning house with it in both
See,
classes.
that's what I'm saying. Bring it. But yeah, if
So
anybody else want to jump on the screen, like I said, you're welcome. Here's the link right here. Just
Please
click on
don't
this
say
link.
anything
I'll bring
mean
you
because
on
I
in
need
if
to
you
keep
want
this
to.
monetized.
If not, then we just keep on. We're gonna keep on
Or is
rocking
this
and rolling.
monetized?
You know what I'm
Hang on.
saying? So
Is it? No, it's not monetized. No, whatever. Don't worry about that later.
mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring up the actual. Oh, hang on. There it is. Let me see if I can actually bring this up. Part of the actual race day. This was with
Mm-hmm.
Truggies specifically. Files, videos. They called it GPU less sad. There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a little bit of a race there.
Yeah, man. Most definitely back. Yeah, I'm gonna come. That's on the list. Loganville first, and then ride on down to Florida and mess with some of
Have
y'all
fun.
guys down there. Big
Have
for
fun
sure.
driving through
Come
Atlanta.
see you. But yeah. But yeah, Roach, like I said, man, I just wanted to jump on for a minute, just catch back up with the RC family, man. I ain't gonna be on here long, and I just want to just let everybody know everything's is back up and pumping, and we're gonna keep it going. And appreciate all the support, and also y'all also continue to support Roach.
Support this man over here as well. He needs more subscribers for what he does
Yes,
because he
yes,
works
yes,
hard too.
yes, yes, sir. But yeah, RC family, I appreciate y'all, and hey, if you ain't ripping, you tripping. Actions speak louder than words, and hey, we might do something tomorrow too. We might do something tomorrow night too, since I'm off. So y'all stay locked in, and we gonna catch you back up, Roach. I appreciate you always your support, brother. And hey, man, y'all have a rest of y'all good night, and
You as
we're gonna
well.
holler back. We're gonna do this tomorrow, around about the same time, around about. I might come on a little early, about 6, because we got our Mayako stuff at 8, so I might come on around about 6, something like
Yeah.
that, so everybody can get in. All right, y'all. Appreciate you.
Bye bye. See you later.